I'm glad you clicked in to check out to hear more about the awareness phase. All phases are important, but there is something special and probably I would have to say most important about the awareness phase. And the reason for that is that you're starting the journey. When we look at challenges and improvement and things we want to do differently, we can't even choose to do something different until we are aware of what it is. And so by being aware of the situation, of who we are, or what we're facing, of all of that information, we can then choose a pathway, a plan to address it, to take it on, to enjoy the next level, to take on the opportunity to do any of it. So the awareness phase is really, really important. To begin the awareness phase, we start the awareness phase by doing things like personality assessments, what understanding what are our core values, understanding what does happiness look like for us and employees, look understanding what is our purpose, the what is the purpose of this business? Why is it here? As we start understanding that, we have the ability then to communicate on a different level. Another big part of the awareness phase is the awareness of the language that we use and that we will use in the alignment method, because you will find out as we go through this, language is very important. You'll even hear me say sometimes simplicity, most of the stuff we're talking about, it's simple, it's not easy. And so understanding the difference between simplicity and easy is extremely important, because we will then be able to separate our challenges, our issues into a simplicity, understanding that it's going to be very difficult to take it on. As we do this, the first 3 weeks or so is a lot about understanding that, taking these little online surveys, taking these little tests that I have for everyone to just know more about themselves. And then I share in the education part of it about what does that mean? What does that interplay look like? What happens when you have somebody with this personality that has to go with this, someone with this personality? And what type of clashes do they have and conflict that shows up? And how does that look? We then become aware of how do we frame the challenges, the problems that are in front of us? How do we set the language for what that is? We also become aware of, like, what are our KPIs, key performance indicators? What are the numbers? What are the top 5 numbers that lead everything that we're doing? Each position, they should know what their 3 to 5 numbers are that are the most important for them to do their job well, to know that they're doing their job well. And as we create all this awareness, we start understanding that this is the true challenge that faces us. And as we declare where we want to go, what the vision looks like, we become aware of what the vision actually is and what is our pathway to get there. Then we start understanding that it's about implementing those steps in. And so in month 2, we start to really start integrating in, these are the rhythms and the routines to allow us to really focus on and communicate, how do we want to take on the next challenge, the next challenge, and how do we want to do this, and how do we hold each other accountable? What does that even look like? Once we're aware of what holding accountability looks like, it's not a scary thing or a mean thing or an intense thing. It just is. And when we bring it to that simplicity, it's much more successful for people to hold accountability. Once we go through that into the kind of the third month, as we're starting to kind of begin to blend into our integration phase, we are really understanding, like, what are the rhythms and routines that look like in our business, and how do we manage and how do we react to them. And so once we've gotten through the awareness phase, we should be very eyes wide open to the challenges that face our business, that also face ourselves, that also face the way that we work together and or don't work together as a team, and how can we improve that. And as we start the integration, we start on the path of implementing those awarenesses.